Good evening, everyone. So there is another session today, which is session two. Yesterday there was a session with Mr. Durga Shankar Pati. So today I have invited Anishiya ma'am, who is working in GSI. Okay, she has secured rank two in year 2020 in GSI. She is going to guide you whatever your questions are there for it. I have planned as such that I have few questions which students have given, so I will ask those, then we will have one-on-one discussion session with all the students over here. Yes, ma'am. First of all, like, how did you prepare for your interview? Like, what was your exact strategy?
Audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Can you please put that microphone near to your face, like then it will be more audible.
Okay, okay. Is
Yes,
it
ma'am.
fine now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So, as I was saying, I had very little idea about the UPSC interview as such because it was my first time. So, all of the informations that I gathered from my seniors and other members from my class as well as from my university, I kind of studied for the interview. So there was no preparation strategy as such because I knew that it will be different for every individual because the experiences it changes from person to person. So the teachers there, that is from the Saga University, from where I took my MTech in Applied Geology, so they had a very good idea about how the UPSC interviews are being conducted. So I took guidance from them, and also I asked a few of my seniors and super seniors, etc., about how the pattern of questions comes and how is the entire scenario of the interview. So it was kind of very much helpful for me. And what I kept in mind was the major syllabus that I followed was the syllabus for the mains, because we know the mains of the UPSC Geoscientist examination is one of the lengthiest and the most important part of the entire examination, and it contains all the questions and all the all the papers, the important papers, and the entire syllabus of mains is very important. So what I did was I followed the strategy that I followed while preparing for my mains. So I kind of studied each and every topic as it is written in the syllabus, and I made sure that some additional information regarding the geology of the area from where I belong to, also the geology of the area where I did my for future, I mean further studies, like the geology of Sagar or the geology of Madhya Pradesh, and also very importantly the geology of the area where they took us to field tours, so or field excursions. So I made sure that I had an overall idea about the geology of the area as well as geology of the area of my native place, the place where I studied my BSc as well as my MTech. So this was the basic strategy, and other than that, main important strategy that I kept in mind was I was very aware of what I filled in the DAF, that is the detailed application form that you all might have filled. So they have a copy, the interviewers have a copy of the DAF with them. So what they ask, they actually ask about us by seeing the DAF only. So it is very important to have an idea about what you have filled in the DAF, even if it is as least important as the hobby, because there are questions from your hobbies and interests, other curricular activities, and the achievements that you have got. So before going to the interview, I would suggest everyone to have a idea or have a look upon the DAF, because it is filled further, prior to the interview, some 3 to 4 months. So it is kind of not kept in our memory. So it is important for us to understand and to at least have an idea about what we have filled in the DAF. So they have a copies, and they can ask us questions from the DAF. So this was the basic strategy that I followed for the interview, that I completed. I mean, I just followed the syllabus for the mains.
ओके मैम. मैम, जब आपने इंटरव्यू दिया था तो कुछ कभी ऐसा फील हुआ आपको कि हाँ, कोई चीज़ का रिग्रेट हो या फिर कोई चीज़ ऐसा मिसिंग कि मुझे ये चीज़ भी कर लेना चाहिए था उस टाइम पे, ऐसा कभी कुछ फील हुआ?
एक्चुअली ऐसा बहुत बार होता है ना कि मतलब हम वहाँ पे इंटरव्यू देते हैं और हम लोग को मतलब बहुत बेसिक सा क्वेश्चंस वो लोग पूछते हैं और कभी कभी हम आंसर नहीं कर पाते, तो ऐसा होता है। तो मुझे ये चीज एक्चुअली ये एक मतलब लक फैक्टर भी है, क्योंकि मेरा एक्चुअली दोनों में सिलेक्शन हुआ था, लाइक जियोलॉजिस्ट में भी हुआ था, हाइड्रोजियोलॉजिस्ट में भी हुआ था। तो फिर उनका ये था कि मेरा इंटरव्यू फर्स्ट डे पे था और मेरा ऐसे पैनल में इंटरव्यू फंसा था जहाँ पे हाइड्रोजियोलॉजिस्ट बैठे थे। तो इवन दो मेरा प्रेफरेंस जियोलॉजिस्ट था, मैंने क्लियरली अपने डैफ में लिखा था कि मेरा प्रेफरेंस जियोलॉजिस्ट है, तो नेचुरली मैं हाइड्रोजियोलॉजी के लिए उतना प्रिपेयर नहीं रहूंगी, क्योंकि मुझे पता था कि हाँ मेरा प्रेफरेंस जियोलॉजिस्ट है, तो वो हाइड्रोजियोलॉजी वाले फील्ड में इतना क्वेश्चंस नहीं पूछेंगे। लेकिन मेरे साथ ऐसा हुआ कि मेरा 75 to 80% ऑफ इंटरव्यू मेरा हाइड्रोजियोलॉजी में चला गया, एंड एट सम पॉइंट मैं उनको बोल भी नहीं पाई कि मतलब मैंने जियोलॉजिस्ट प्रेफरेंस दिया, बिकॉज मेंस में भी आपका हाइड्रोजियोलॉजी एक टॉपिक रहता है, तो आप पूरा डिनाई नहीं कर सकते कि आपको हाइड्रोजियोलॉजी का उतना ज्यादा नॉलेज नहीं है। तो हाँ मतलब मेरा थोड़ा लक फैक्टर मेरे साथ दिया था उस टाइम, क्योंकि मैंने हाइड्रोजियोलॉजी थोड़ा बहुत देख लिया था। तो मैं इसीलिए इवन जो मेरे जूनियर्स है जो भी मेरे से पूछते हैं, इवन दो अगर उन्होंने सिर्फ जियोलॉजिस्ट में ही क्वालिफाई किया है, मैं उनसे बोलती हूँ कि एटलीस्ट मतलब हाइड्रोजियोलॉजी को भी एक बार देख के जरूर जाना, क्योंकि आपको पता नहीं है कि आप कैसे पैनल में फंसोगे और उस पैनल में कौन सा इंसान किस चीज में स्पेशलाइज करेगा, तो ऑटोमेटिकली वो इंटरव्यू उस डायरेक्शन में चला जाता है। तो इसलिए जो भी आपका मेन सिलेबस हो, इवन छोटे छोटे टॉपिक्स लाइक रिमोट सेंसिंग हो गया, फोटो जियोलॉजी हो गया और एनवायरमेंटल जियोलॉजी हो गया, जिस मतलब छोटे छोटे ब्रांचेस जिसको हम थोड़ा इग्नोर कर देते हैं, तो ये सब थोड़ा इम्पोर्टेंट है कि उसको भी हम ध्यान दें। तो मुझे उस टाइम लगा था कि हाँ मुझे शायद हाइड्रोजियोलॉजी में भी थोड़ा सा ज्यादा ध्यान देना चाहिए था, तो फिर मेरा स्कोर और अच्छा होता।
ठीक है मैम। और मैम जैसे कि हमने जो डैफ की इंफॉर्मेशन भरी है, तो जो हमारी पर्सनल इंफॉर्मेशन है या फिर कुछ भी, तो वो डैफ से कितने क्वेश्चन आपसे पूछे गए थे, अगर आपको याद हो आपके इंटरव्यू में, लाइक पर्सनल जो चीज़ें हो जो आपके इंटरेस्ट की हो या फिर आपके एरिया से रिलेटेड हो?
हाँ एक्चुअली मेरा डैफ में मतलब वो पहले तो मेरा एकेडमिक जो मेरा कितना मेरा परसेंटेज था, मतलब एकेडमिकली मेरा क्या था लेवल, क्योंकि उसमें 10-12 सब मार्क्स रहता है ना, 10-12 का बीएससी का आपको पीजी का सबका मार्क्स रहता है, तो वो एकेडमिकली वो देखे कि मतलब हाँ इस मतलब कैसा है वो, और उसके बाद जो मेरा हॉबीज है और इंटरेस्ट है जो मैंने लिखा था, तो जो एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज मैंने उसमें लिखा था, या फिर मेरे जो अचीवमेंट्स है वो सब उन्होंने पढ़ा था, और हॉबीज से भी मेरे से क्वेश्चंस आया था कि कैसा है क्या है। तो ये सब मतलब डैफ मुझे लगता है कि एक बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट मटेरियल है उनके सामने, कि आप उसमें से पूरा मतलब आप क्या हो करके एक थोड़ा सा जिस्ट उनको मिल जाता है। तो ये चीज मतलब बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है कि आपको याद रखने के लिए कि एटलीस्ट आपने क्या भरा है उस डैफ में।
ठीक है मैम। और मैम जैसे कि हम जब इंटरव्यू हॉल में जाते हैं, तो हमें कल कुछ बच्चे पूछ रहे थे कि हमें क्या कुछ कैरी करके हम एंटर करेंगे या फिर हम लाइक बेयर हैंड एंटर करते हैं, और जब हम एंटर करेंगे तो हम कितने पैनलिस्ट एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं हमारे सामने?
हाँ ये बहुत एक मतलब ये बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है कि आप वो इंटरव्यू का पूरा सिनेरियो को थोड़ा समझे, ठीक है। तो पहले क्या होता है कि आप लोग अपने डॉक्यूमेंट्स के साथ एंट्री करते हो इंटरव्यू हॉल में, नहीं जनरल उनके एक कॉन्फ्रेंस हॉल में यूपीएससी के, तो उधर आपके पास आपका क्या बोलते हैं डॉक्यूमेंट्स रहता है, और वहीं पे आपको सबको एक साथ बिठाते हैं और वहां पे आपका डॉक्यूमेंट वेरिफिकेशन होता है। उसके बाद आपको पता चलता है कि किसके बाद आपको जाना है, तो आपको वहां से भी एक स्पेसिफिक टेबल्स में बिठा देते हैं 5-5 के बैचेस में कि आपको इसके बाद जाना है ऐसे करके। लेकिन जब आप इंटरव्यू हॉल में जाते हो तो आप बेयर हैंड जाते हो, आपके पास कुछ भी नहीं रहता है। हाँ लेकिन कुछ लोग ऐसे डिसर्टेशन वगैरह देखा है मैंने कि अगर वो लोग अलाउ करते हैं तो वो लेके जाते हैं, लेकिन मोस्टली पीपल बेयर हैंड ही जाते हैं। और अगर आप इतना स्ट्रांग है, आपको आप अपना मतलब बहुत अच्छा डिसर्टेशन वर्क उनको दिखाना चाहते हैं, या फिर कुछ आपका ऐसा पब्लिकेशन हो, कुछ ऐसा हो जो आपको उधर मतलब उस जिससे आपको आपका एक पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट उन पे आएगा, अगर आपको ऐसा लगता है तो फिर आप वो ले जा सकते हो, मतलब आफ्टर द परमिशन फ्रॉम द ऑफिशियल्स देयर। तो अभी मतलब मेरे टाइम में तो मैं खाली हाथ ही गई थी, और वहां पे एक मेन चेयरमैन होता है, चेयरमैन के बाद आप 3 to 4 एक्सपर्ट्स एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हो, क्योंकि एक मेजर चेयरमैन होते हैं जो एक्चुअली क्वेश्चंस नहीं पूछते हैं, उनका ये रहता है कि वो आपको असेस करते हैं, वो आपको शुरू में आपको इंट्रोड्यूस करते हैं, मतलब आपको वो एक कंफर्ट जोन में ला देते हैं, उसके बाद वो आपसे कम्युनिकेट नहीं करते, उसके बाद वो आपको पूरा ऑब्जर्व करते रहते हैं। बाकी जितने भी एक्सपर्ट्स है, सपोज मेरे में 4 एक्सपर्ट्स अलग थे और यूजुअली कभी-कभी ऐसे जियोलॉजिस्ट के पैनल में 3 एक्सपर्ट्स रहते, तो एक चेयरमैन प्लस 3 एक्सपर्ट्स। तो ये 3 एक्सपर्ट्स से आप मतलब 10 मिनट या 15 मिनट का क्वेश्चन एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हो, और इंडिविजुअली हर एक्सपर्ट जो है आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछेगा, और जो मेन चेयरमैन है वो आपका इंटरव्यू इनिशिएट करेगा और वो आपको पूरा ऑब्जर्व करेगा, और जब आपका इंटरव्यू पूरा खत्म हो जाएगा तो शायद वो आपको कंक्लूड करेगा। तो 3 to 4 एक्सपर्ट्स मतलब मिनिमम आप एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हो इंटरव्यू में।
ओके मैम। मैम ड्रेसिंग के लिए आप कुछ बताएंगे, जो लड़कियां अपीयर कर रही हैं इंटरव्यू के लिए, तो
यूजुअली देखो, मतलब ड्रेसिंग का ऐसा कोई उतना मतलब हार्ड एंड फास्ट रूल नहीं है, लेकिन लड़कियों के लिए तो मैं वही बोलूंगी कि कोई पेस्टल कलर्स का, मतलब कोई कुर्ता, लेगिंग्स और शॉल, और अभी तो लेकिन खैर ठंडी है तो शायद एक लाइट कलर का कोई कार्डिगन, ये सब थोड़ा इम्पोर्टेंट है। और लड़के भी यूजुअली पैंट्स और फॉर्मल पैंट्स या फिर ब्लेजर्स जो वो पहनते हैं। बस ये है कि वो जो शर्ट का कलर हो या फिर जो कुर्ता का कलर हो, वो मतलब इतना आई कैची ना हो या फिर बहुत ज्यादा वाइब्रेंट ना हो कि एकदम डार्क ब्लू या फिर डार्क मैंने एकदम ब्लैक, कुछ ऐसा नहीं। कोई पेस्टल कलर, सपोज पीच हो गया, वो जो स्काई ब्लू टोन हो गया, ये लाइट बेबी पिंक वाला जो टोन हो गया, तो वो सब थोड़ा मतलब ठीक रहता है। ऐसे ऐसा कोई नहीं, इवन साड़ीज में भी जाते हैं बच्चे इंटरव्यू देने के लिए, तो इतना कुछ उसमें अफेक्ट नहीं करता है। लेकिन हाँ, हील्स वगैरह आप ना पहने, मतलब जिससे वो हॉल में एक्चुअली थोड़ा सन्नाटा टाइप का होता है, तो आप उधर एंट्री करोगे तो आप नहीं चाहते हो कि आपका शूज आवाज करे, तो फिर थोड़ा वैसा वाला सैंडल्स जिसमें उतना ज्यादा आवाज ना हो, तो ऐसा टाइप का थोड़ा ट्राई करना है। बहुत सिंपल सा, मतलब जैसे आप रहते हो वैसे ही वहां पे पोर्ट्रे करना है।
ओके मैम। और मैम एक अगला क्वेश्चन ऐसा है कि सपोज हम कोई क्वेश्चन उन्होंने पूछा, तो अगर हमें वो चीज़ नहीं आ रही है तो हम उसको कैसे टैकल कर सकते हैं?
हाँ, तो ये चीज देखो, ये चीज जानना बहुत जरूरी है कि वो जो भी पूछे, ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं है कि आपको सब कुछ आता होगा, और ऐसा कभी होगा भी नहीं कि आपको सब कुछ का नॉलेज है। तो मतलब हमेशा बी रेडी टू से सॉरी, और सॉरी भी ऐसा नहीं कि आप किसी को ऑफेंड करो। सॉरी भी ऐसे बोल सकते हो आप कि सॉरी सर, करेंटली आई एम अनेबल टू रिकॉल यू, या फिर सॉरी सर आई एम नॉट गेटिंग इट राइट नाउ, मतलब बहुत सिंपल सा कुछ। और सॉरी बोलने में कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, क्योंकि अगर आप सॉरी नहीं बोलोगे, मतलब तो आपका इंटरव्यू सपोज उसी किसी ऐसे सब्जेक्ट में चल रहा है जहाँ पे आपका वो स्ट्रेंथ नहीं है, सपोज वो सब्जेक्ट, लेकिन अगर आपने सॉरी नहीं बोला तो वो उसी सब्जेक्ट में आपको मतलब और क्वेश्चंस पूछते रहेंगे। तो अगर आपको लग रहा है सपोज ऐसे सब्जेक्ट से क्वेश्चन आ रहे हैं जहाँ से आपको मतलब उससे अंदर जाना आप नहीं चाहते हो कि उसके डीपली और क्वेश्चंस आए, तो आप क्लियरली बोल सकते हो कि सर ये मेरा फील्ड में मेरा इतना ज्यादा स्ट्रेंथ नहीं है, तो वो मतलब टोटली डाइवर्ट कर देंगे क्वेश्चन। और दूसरे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है कि आप एक क्वेश्चन को आंसर करने के लिए इतना ज्यादा टाइम ना लो, क्योंकि अगर आपको लग रहा है कि क्वेश्चंस नहीं आ रहा है तो आप तुरंत सॉरी बोलो, ताकि नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस आपको जो है ना, मतलब ये जो 20 मिनट्स में नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है कि कितना ज्यादा क्वेश्चंस को आप फेस कर सको। हो सकता है कि लास्ट के 10-20 क्वेश्चन होंगे जो आपको आते होंगे, तो आप का टाइम लेने के चक्कर में वो जो आता है आपको वो भी आप नहीं बोल पाएंगे। तो ये चीज बहुत ध्यान रखना, और क्लियरली आप सॉरी बोल सकते हो, उसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं। क्योंकि मेरा पर्सनल भी एक्सपीरियंस है, मेरे से मतलब पर हर एक एक्सपर्ट ने 15 to 20 मिनट्स पूछा, मतलब मेरा इंटरव्यू 40 to 45 मिनट्स का चला था, लेकिन हर एक्सपर्ट ने 15 to 20 मिनट्स लिया, तो बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस थे। मतलब मैंने सपोज आई थिंक 60 to 70 क्वेश्चंस मेरे पास आए, लेकिन उसमें से भी शायद 10 या 11-12 क्वेश्चंस ऐसे थे जो मुझे नहीं आते थे, मैंने क्लियरली सॉरी बोला था। तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि आपको ऐसा मतलब फील नहीं करना है कि अरे ये मुझे नहीं आ रहा है, या फिर उस टाइम आप डाउन हो जाओ, तो ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं है। आप क्लियरली सॉरी बोल सकते हो आराम से, कोई दिक्कत नहीं।
ठीक है मैम। मैम, जो हमारा डिसर्टेशन का टॉपिक है वो कितना इम्पोर्टेंट है इंटरव्यू के पर्पस के लिए, वो या फिर वो उनके लिए कितना इम्पोर्टेंट है, क्या वो उनके इंटरेस्ट का है जो हमारा डिसर्टेशन का टॉपिक है?
एक्चुअली हम लोग क्योंकि जियोलॉजी जो जहाँ पे भी पढ़े हैं, तो उनका ये चीज बहुत रहता है कि आपने फील्ड कहाँ किया, मतलब एमएससी में आपका फील्ड कहाँ पे हुआ। तो ऐसे फर्स्ट ईयर में भी जब आप लोग को फील्ड लेके जाते हैं, सेकेंड ईयर में सपोज फील्ड लेके जा रहे हो, सपोज 3 ईयर कोर्स है तो तीनों साल आपको कुछ ना कुछ होता है। तो ये मैंने अक्सर देखा है, इवन मेरे जो जूनियर्स का भी एक्सपीरियंस है उससे बोल रही हूँ। मतलब ऐसा होता है कि वो लोग हमेशा पूछते हैं कि आपने कहाँ आपका फील्ड वर्क किया है। तो फील्ड वर्क आपने जिस साल में बीएससी में हो, चाहे एमएससी में हो, चाहे आपका पीएचडी में हो, कहाँ कहाँ किया है उसका एक मतलब ब्रीफ आइडिया आपको होना ही चाहिए कि वहां आपने क्या देखा, कहाँ विजिट किया। सपोज माइन विजिट्स हुए तो वो पूछेंगे कि कौन से माइंस गए थे, कहाँ कहाँ गए थे, क्या देखा, क्या था वहां का मेजर, और मतलब कौन सा था वहां पे, कंडीशंस कैसे थे, कुछ भी क्वेश्चंस वो आपसे पूछ सकते हैं। और डिसर्टेशन तो 101% आपको मतलब प्रिपेयर्ड रहना ही रहना है, भले वो पूछे ना पूछे, क्योंकि डिसर्टेशन एक ऐसा है, क्योंकि उनको पता है कि कोई भी छोटा सा भी यूनिवर्सिटी हो, बड़ा भी यूनिवर्सिटी, कोई भी यूनिवर्सिटी हो, आप एमएससी में डिसर्टेशन करोगे ही करोगे। और उस डिसर्टेशन से ऐसा भी होता है कि पूरा इंटरव्यू ही आपका डिसर्टेशन पे ही चले, कि अगर आपने कुछ बोल दिया, सपोज सेडिमेंटोलॉजी में किया है तो वो उनको लगेगा कि अच्छा सेडिमेंटोलॉजी आपका स्ट्रॉन्ग है, या फिर कोई ऐसा सब्जेक्ट जहाँ पे आपको ज्यादा नॉलेज है, तो आप उसी में पूरा इंटरव्यू भी वो खत्म कर सकते हैं। तो और जो भी आप आंसर करते हो, बहुत ऐसा कोशिश करना कि एकदम सिंपल रखे, बेसिक रखे, उनको ज्यादा अपना आइडियाज देना ही नहीं है। मतलब जितना हार्ड वर्ड्स है, जितना हार्ड मतलब आप उस चीज को एक्सप्लेन करने में लगाओगे, उतना ही आपको बैक फायरिंग मतलब होता है क्वेश्चंस का। तो जो आपसे क्वेश्चन आता है डायरेक्ट टू डायरेक्ट उसका आंसर करो, बस उतना ही। तो डिसर्टेशन के बारे में तो मतलब बहुत अच्छे से अपना आइडिया रखो कि क्या है, क्यों है, और मतलब कैसे किया, वहां का जियोलॉजी और किस इकोनॉमिक मिनरल पे किया है, जो भी है उसके बारे में भी बहुत कुछ। तो डिसर्टेशन का तो एक बहुत अच्छा आइडिया होना चाहिए।
ओके मैम। और मैम जो इंटरव्यू होता है हमारा, तो वो ऐसा है कि इंग्लिश में देना होता है या फिर हिंदी में देना होता है, ऐसा कुछ बैरियर है क्या?
एक्चुअली हमारे टाइम में मैंने सुना था कि बाइलिंगुअल था, वो कोई दिक्कत नहीं था, क्योंकि इंग्लिश भी दे सकते हैं आप, अगर कंफर्टेबल नहीं हो इंग्लिश में तो आप हिंदी में भी दे सकते थे। लेकिन पता नहीं, मैं मतलब मेरे सीनियर्स, जो मेरे सीनियर में एक बैच सीनियर, तो वहां के टॉपर सर थे, तो उन्होंने ऐसा सुना था कि वो तो टॉपर भी थे यूपीएससी के, तो उन्होंने अपने इंटरव्यू हिंदी में दिया था, तो उनका सिलेक्शन हो गया। लेकिन मेरे जो जूनियर्स है उनके एक्सपीरियंस से मैंने ऐसा सुना था कि कुछ लोग जब हिंदी में वो बोल रहे थे तो उनको मतलब टोका गया कि मतलब आप ट्राई करो कि आप इंग्लिश में ही बोलो। लेकिन हालांकि ये होना नहीं चाहिए, क्योंकि यूपीएससी आपको बाइलिंगुअल, इवन सीएसई मतलब ये जो सिविल सर्विस एग्जामिनेशन भी, वो भी आपको ये मतलब लिबर्टी देता है कि आप बाइलिंगुअल इंटरव्यू दो। तो ऐसा कोई इशू नहीं होना चाहिए। हाँ मतलब अगर आपका चेयरमैन कुछ थोड़ा फसी मूड में हो, या फिर कुछ ऐसा बाई अनलकी होके अगर आप ऐसे कोई पैनल में पड़ गए, तो हो सकता है कि कोई ऐसा करे, लेकिन उसको भी आप बहुत, और इंग्लिश में भी ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको एकदम शुद्ध मतलब बहुत अच्छा ग्रामेटिकली करेक्ट इंग्लिश बोलना है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। बहुत आप अगर आपसे अगर बोला गया कि इंग्लिश में ही बोलो, तो आप ट्राई करो कि ब्रोकन इंग्लिश भी हो तो भी चलेगा, लेकिन आप थोड़ा ट्राई करो। हाँ मतलब उनसे रूड नहीं होना है, कि सपोज वो बोलेंगे कि नहीं हिंदी में नहीं चलेगा, इंग्लिश में ही बोलो, तो फिर आप उनको बोल सकते हो सर मतलब मैं उतना फ्लुएंट नहीं इंग्लिश में, बट देन ऑल्सो आई विल ट्राई, ऐसे करके आप इंग्लिश में बोल सकते हो। तो ऐसे क्या है कि उनको रूड भी नहीं लगेगा, आपका एरोगेंस भी उनको नहीं दिखेगा, तो ये चीज मतलब थोड़ा ध्यान रखना।
जी मैम।
और
मैम मेरे पास अभी इतने ही क्वेश्चंस थे, तो अभी जितने भी बच्चों ने ज्वाइन किया है 25 हैं यहाँ पे, तो अगर किसी को कोई भी डाउट है तो वो मैम से पूछ सकते हैं।
हिंदी एक्चुअली समझ में आ रहा है ना सबको, मतलब अगर लैंग्वेज में कोई इशू है तो मैम। हाँ
Good evening, ma'am. I'm actually speaking from Andhra Pradesh.
Okay.
My question was just continuation for the previous question. Like you told, like you just try to speak in English. There is no problem like that, ma'am, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, if the board was asking the question in Hindi, if I answer it in English, is there any problem, ma'am?
No, there isn't any problem. Actually, even I am from South. I am from Kerala, so it is not necessary that everyone from South will have a good Hindi or will be able to speak fluently in Hindi. So they will understand your problem if there is a problem like that.
Yeah.
And if they are asking in Hindi, it's okay. I mean, they will not. I don't think they will ask entirely in Hindi. They will suppose ask even the geology question. They cannot ask completely it in Hindi, right? So what they
Right.
will do is they will ask, suppose a definition or something, suppose dip kya hai, aisa पूछ लिया in case. So when you can answer in English, there is no issue in that.
Yeah. The thing is, actually, if I speak in Hindi, you will also answer it in Hindi, ma'am, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
if the board is speaking in Hindi, I am speaking in English, means it shows like he is not giving good respect, or he is showing like attitude. This kind of
they might
character will be portrayed according to my view.
Okay.
Is that true or not? That I don't know actually.
Actually, if you are fluent in Hindi and they are asking in Hindi, then you can answer in Hindi. But if you are not fluent in Hindi, I don't think there is any other option, right? So whatever it is, you can try to speak in English. But I think as far as I have heard about the interviewers speaking, as well as my personal experience, I have not seen them asking in Hindi. So in case if they ask in Hindi, you try to answer in Hindi, and if they'll understand that your Hindi is not as fluent as it should be, they will probably shift it to English, I think.
Okay. I understand Hindi, but I can't speak Hindi. Like,
it is a genuine problem. So you can even respectfully tell them, sir, I'm not very much fluent in Hindi, so can I answer in English? That is a good way, I think. Where you won't be portrayed as a stubborn person, also neither arrogant nor rude. So you can also say that, sir, my Hindi is not as fluent as it should be. So please allow me to kindly speak in English. So I think you can answer in English then.
One more question, ma'am. Like, if the board asks like what kind of the responsibilities you are going to take after getting the as a geoscientist job, what should we answer, ma'am? Is there any scope of asking this kind of question?
Yes, there are chances of asking these kinds of questions, because first it is that you have to understand what job it is providing you, or what job you are going into. So first of all, you have to have an idea about what GSI is and what its major roles are, and what are the position that you are getting. Suppose you are getting, so what is the position you are getting the job into. So it will be like a geologist, and you have to understand what the works of GSI are. So what is the pioneer work of GSI? GSI mainly focuses on the baseline mapping, well as the exploration of minerals right now. So if they are asking what is your responsibility as a geologist or as a geologist in GSI, then I think a clear answer or a simple answer will be, sir, I am since GSI is a pioneer institution doing mapping as well as exploration, and it is one of the most important organization where fieldwork is given this much importance. So I think whatever responsibility GSI gives me, I am very much ready to accept it all, and I'll be very happy to do it with my utmost sincerity. So in that case, you are not putting, you are not focusing into one zone. So that is what that is what I am trying you to understand. Because if you are saying that, okay, I'll do mineral exploration, so the interviewer suddenly shifts to mineral exploration. So it is better to not give a pinpoint direction to them. Give a vague direction so that they can ask questions from anywhere.
Okay. And also, I was told like from the previous interview candidates, like they told me like if choose your words wisely, so that the words you are using, they will pick the questions from the same kind of words.
Yes.
Is that true, ma'am?
Yes, it's very true, because that is what I said, no, that keep your answers very basic and very simple. If they are asking about a mineral, suppose, and you have accidentally told about the geochemistry of the mineral, and it is naturally it is 101% sure that they will go into geochemistry. So the words that you use is very important, because they catch even thinking from the perspective of the interviewer. So they have to take suppose 10 to 12 interviews per day. They cannot prepare questions for each interview or each candidate. So what they do by sitting there is they take questions from your mouth. So this is the main motive of the interviewer. So whatever you say, they will ask a question on that. Suppose they are asking Bauma sequence, then they will go into that. If you are telling them the layers, they will ask, okay, what are these? And then you will say another important tough word. They will ask, okay, what is this? So this is what happens. So it is very important to keep your answers very basic and very clear and very simple. Don't give them questions from your side. And also it is a good technique also. If you want the interview to go in your favorable direction, you can do that. Suppose you know that your geochemistry or your structural is strong. Then you can add words like that in your answers that they will automatically divert towards structural theory. But the important thing is, while you sit there, you don't have this much time, and your mind won't work this much to consider all these factors. So there you will be like how you are actually. You will portray yourself just like that. So don't give much thought to it, or do not give and so much thought that this should be the perfect standard of my answer. Just go with the flow, and suppose if hard words come, and suppose if it happens, don't be nervous, and just don't let it shatter your confidence. So that is important.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. That's it, ma'am. Actually, I saw your interview 1 year back. It was very motivating, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Where are you from?
I'm from Andhra Pradesh.
Where did you do your PG from?
Same, ma'am. Andhra University itself.
Okay. All the best.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
I think Richa has some doubt. Yes, Richa?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask that as you said about you were selected in both GSI and CGWB,
Yeah.
and I wanted to ask that if someone is selected only for GSI, then how should we prepare for, how much portion should we prepare for hydrology part? Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So hydrogeology part, I think the pre-syllabus contains hydrogeology.
Ma'am,
right?
sorry to interrupt. Ma'am, there is fluctuation in voice, ma'am.
Okay. Is it audible now? I don't know if there is a net problem also.
Yes, ma'am,
Hello?
it is audible.
Okay. So, as I was saying, the hydrogeology syllabus is there in the pre-examination of the UPSC exam. So, it is important to understand the syllabus of the pre. I think the main syllabus is comparatively vast, and if you are not selected, I think the pre-syllabus would be sufficient right now. Because I'm not saying that you have to give very much importance to that if you are not selected in hydrogeologist. There is nothing like that. But at least have an idea about each and every topic. Like if they ask, then there should not be a blank atmosphere there. Because since you have given the pre-examination, they consider hydrogeology also as a branch of geology. So you have to have an idea. But you cannot just say that I have not been selected into, because that is one of the mistake one of my seniors did, because he was accidentally put in the in the same zone or the same chairman and the experts where hydrogeologists were sitting. So even though he didn't qualify for the hydrogeologist, he was qualified for the geologist. But they asked hydrogeology questions. So instead of answering them or trying to give an answer, because he was, from his side, it is correct, because he did not study hydrogeology. He did not even give hydrogeology papers. So he was not supposed to study hydrogeology. But when he said the same thing that, sir, I am selected for the geologist, I think the chairman or the expert took it as a rude statement. So he did not get selected that year. So that is something which I advise to everyone who asks me, that even though you are not selected for hydrogeologist, at least have a basic idea of the pre-syllabus of hydrogeology, so that you don't get blank, and then it will definitely affect your confidence also.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, I had another question.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, if sometimes when we are speaking and the words are not coming directly into our mind at that particular point of time, how should we structure our answer at that time? And
okay, so it is natural to get nervous there. So you one option is you can take time, that you can politely ask time, sir, I need 2 minutes time, or I need a minute for for thinking. You can say like that and then give an answer. Otherwise, if suppose there is structural geology and you have to understand there is a pen and paper given to you, or there is a table in front of you where you have a paper and a pen. So in case if you are unable to answer, suppose a structural geology question where you are unable to portray your answer in the form of words, so what you can do is you can draw. You can draw and show them, or you can even model, or if you're showing a fold, you can fold the piece of paper and show the type of fold you are trying to answer. And in fact, people have said that if you are unable to portray or give your answers as speech, you can also write it down vaguely, and you can then tell to the expert. So it will definitely take time, more than what you speak. So, but there is a way like that. If you are suddenly you feel like words are not coming out of your mouth, then you can do that. You can use a picture to show to them, or you can use the paper as a model to show them that this is and always you can take time. You can say that please give me 2 minutes time, and then you can answer so that words will come out.
Ma'am, can we ask for the permission and show it by hand gestures?
Yes, I mean it happens very naturally, because one thing which I personally experienced is that even though we plan so much for the interview, like we'll be sitting like this, we'll be standing like this, we'll be going like this, inside that that arena of your interview chamber, there won't be any scope of acting. So whatever you are naturally, you will be portrayed. If you are nervous, they will clearly see that you are nervous, and if you are confident enough, they will see your confidence as well. So you can use hand gestures, and one thing is you have to have an eye contact with each and every interviewer or the expert sitting there. So that itself shows that okay, you are confident enough to look into the eye of the interviewer. So that is one thing you can do. And the second is you can use hand gestures, and it comes naturally, because some people, they have this habit of using hands very much to explain themselves. So there is no, it is not a mistake to do that. And if you have to show something by using your hand, you can always ask permission also. Sir, I'll be explaining this through my hand gestures, and you can use that. There isn't any issue on that.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
If anyone have any other doubt, they can ask in this meet.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Ma'am, I want to ask that how to maintain the confidence level at that 30 minutes of time. Sometimes what happen at whatever the question we know, we have constant pitch and our voice is almost constant at that time. But due to some unexpected questions, we get nervous little bit. So that is shown in our voice pitch and modulations. So how to tackle these situations?
Actually, it is as I said, your natural personality will be reflected there. So if you are nervous, or if your voice is breaking, or there is a shake in your voice, it will clearly be depicted there. So that will show that you are not confident enough, and it happens. It is natural. So one thing you have to understand is, if it happens, do not be tensed or do not take any tension, because it is very natural. And even the interviewers there, they also understand the fact that it is not easy to appear in front of such eminent personality and give an interview. So that is the first thing, that you do not have to be tense if you think your voice is shaking or even your hands are trembling. So that is there. Second, you will be given a glass of water as well. So if you feel that you are getting nervous, so you may take your time. So you can ask them, sir, please give me few minutes, and you can even drink water. And and I think if you are not getting any answer, or if they are asking from an unexpected area, it is, rather than thinking too much about the answer, it is better to say sorry. So if you say sorry, they are not expecting any answer. So if the nervousness, when it comes when you feel that they are expecting an answer from you. So don't be in a situation where you are giving them or you are giving them an expectation that you will answer. Directly say that, sorry sir, I don't recall this right now. So there the question ends and they will ask some new question. So maybe the question will be easy for you or maybe difficult for you, but you can always take your time and it happens. There is nothing to be tensed about.
Okay, ma'am. I want to ask another question that if the chairman after the interview tell us that do you tell anything to us after interview is over? So in that situation, what we should do if our interview was gone very fine and very good?
Okay. So yeah, I have seen this recent trend in this interviewer question because during my time they did not ask me this question, and I don't know how I would have answered the same. But if they are asking you such question, do you want to ask anything to the interviewer? I have heard from my colleagues as well as my seniors and the past experiences where they have even asked about some of the field where the interviewer is strong in. Suppose I have heard my friends also who said that they have asked some doubts to them. Suppose structural geology, they have asked counter doubts. But I personally believe that you won't be at that time. You won't be in that state of thinking of a question and answer, and do not be in a rush to show off your talent. So that is very important. And if they are asking you what do you want to tell, so you can clearly either say that no sir, I don't want to tell anything. I mean, that is also a good answer. And if you think you have personally any doubt, nothing regarding the interview you shouldn't ask anything regarding the interview. You can ask some personal doubts regarding the subject that you have. Or you can clearly say that it was, I think you can say this, that sir, it was one of my best experience of life, and I'm very honored to be a part of or to be appearing in front of you, this eminent guest. So, and I'm looking forward to what new opportunities it gives me. Thank you, and then you can go. I think that will be an okay answer because I don't know what exactly you should answer in that stage.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
So I think everyone is done with their doubts.
No, ma'am, I want to ask one question.
Okay.
Hello, ma'am.
Okay. Hello.
Ma'am, I have qualified for the geology and hydrogeology both, but I have given my preference as a geologist. So if the panel asks me that why I have chosen geology over hydrogeology, so in what way I have to answer that, that will be impressive.
This was one of my major doubts during that time, because first of all I was also very doubtful whether I have to choose geologist or this hydrogeologist. But when I chose this geology, so they will have a very doubt that why being a female, why are you choosing geologist and not a hydrogeologist? So this is something they always have a doubt about. So I think a few of the possible answers are that you can say geology, being a field oriented subject, it gives you a very wide scope to understand not just one branch. It gives you idea about many branches. You can say that geology or a geologist in GSI can work in different fields of geology. They can work in a sedimentary terrain, they can work in an igneous terrain, they can work in a metamorphic terrain, and they can even do glaciology, they can go in seismology, they can have, they can even study the hydrogeological parameters. So GSI is one such organization which encompasses all the spheres of interest. So you can say that GSI or a geologist works in different spheres of interest, and GSI provides you with one that you can work at different fields rather than sticking onto just one thing. Because hydrogeology, as we know, that it mainly focuses on water only. So it is important that we can get opportunities in other. And also there are some very truthful and honest answers where people give, like the scope of the scope of promotion is quite more in GSI rather than hydrogeologist. But I think the main and most important explanation that you can give is the about the different spheres of interest or spheres of geology it covers. So I think that will be an apt answer. So that is the reason why you selected geologist. You can say that.
Okay, ma'am. And ma'am, at what extent I have to be prepared for the hydrogeology, as I don't like to study hydrogeology much?
Yeah, so this was my similar experience, because I also did not study much of the hydrogeology, but I made sure that at least whatever I studied, I had an idea about it. But I think since you selected for both, you have to have a good idea about hydrogeology. So please, please understand that it is important to study the main syllabus of hydrogeology. At least have a look for a day or two, so that you will not be blank at that time. Because since you will be at a panel where both geologists and hydrogeologists will be sitting, so there are more than 50% of chances that you will be encountering hydrogeology questions.
Okay, ma'am. And ma'am, one more question I have, that in my field, what questions they can ask that what I have done in my field?
So, where did you do your PG from?
I have done the University of Lucknow.
University of Lucknow. Okay, so in MSc you might have done fieldwork in certain area, right? And also, the dissertation topic. So you have to first get an idea about. Even I would say that by heart a paragraph of a line or line of 2 to 3 sentences, where if they are asked what did you do in your PG, there is a spontaneous answer to that. I have given this idea to most of my juniors also, and they said that it was quite helpful, because you don't get time to create a particular answer. At least by heart your dissertation topic, or by heart your the field note you will be making now, field report that you will be having while you did your field. So suppose it was the mapping of an area, so geological mapping in this scale in so and so area, and this was the aim. So by heart these 4 to 5 sentences of every field work that you did, even in the BSc, even in the MSc, and also if you have done PhD or field work. So by heart a sentence like that. So if questions come, you get a spontaneous answer to give.
Okay, thank you.
Ma'am, just a small question.
Yeah.
Ma'am, do they ask formulas also, ma'am? Since you are telling there will be a paper and a pen given to us. Do they ask to write the formulas also, ma'am?
I have not heard about asking this formulas, but experiences are new to everyone, right? So there are chances that they might ask you formulas, or but the paper can be very useful. If suppose they ask about Darcy law and you are not getting what the formula is, then you can suddenly scribble it on the paper and you can show it to them. So that is kind of very important. And if there are very simple calculations are there, so if they are asking to calculate hydraulic conductivity, giving this and this, so you can always use paper and pen. So be ready for everything, because it varies from person to person. Because my experience was I had encountered mostly theoretical questions, and I did not get any practical or any numerical questions as such. But my juniors, as I heard from them, they were given situations. Like suppose I have heard from my junior regarding he had attended for hydrogeologist. So they have given them situations that suppose you are going to this area, it is of this terrain, you have this rock. So what will be the procedure that you will follow to carry out fieldwork in that area? So it is important to understand that experiences vary from person to person. And also I would like to suggest to everyone hearing this that what I am saying is not a fixed statement. It varies, and this is just from my experience, and your experiences will be very new and very beautiful. That is something I would like to add. So don't just just listen to everyone. Just listen everyone's experience, but don't blindly follow, because everyone's state is different, and the way they approach to any problems is different.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you. Ma'am, I have another question.
Okay.
Although you were fresher at that time, but you were also joined as a research scholar. So did they ask about any question about your research work?
Actually, I was in my coursework only. That I think I have joined for like 3 to 4 months before that interview. So my teachers also advised me to not say to them until they ask you what you did for the rest of the time, because they did not ask me, and I did not mention it in my DAF also, that I am pursuing PhD wala thing, because I thought that since I was a fresher, I did not have greater idea about my field area. So if I take the interview into that direction, it is very much possible that they will be shifting to that direction, and so I didn't want them to do that. So my PG completed in December, and the interview was in April, so I did not have much time. But if you are enrolled in PhD, and if you have given in the DAF that you are doing PhD, you are pursuing PhD in so and so topic, it is very important to understand that topic. Only tell them if you are very much strong in that field. Otherwise, don't just mention. Don't mention. If they there are chances, and also there are chances that they will ask what you did after PG, or what was your strategy, or why did you take this much time to join or to come to the interview. They can ask many questions like that, or even if you were not doing anything, and if you were sitting idle, or you were preparing for the competitive exams, so they can ask that okay, you have passed out in 2020, what were you doing till 2023? So the possible answers and simple answer is this: I was preparing for many competitive exams. So that is one of the answer. And if you have enrolled in PhD, please make sure that you have an idea about the topic as well as the area that you will be pursuing your PhD. And also you can if you are just a very much fresher, or if you are just doing your coursework, you can also say that, sir, I have just enrolled in the coursework and the topic is yet to be decided. So that is also one of the clear answers, where you don't give them an exact topic so that they will ask questions about that.
Okay, ma'am.
Those who have joined just now, I want to inform that you can ask your doubts regarding the interview, which is going to conduct soon by UPSC. Anishiya ma'am is there.
Yes, you may ask your questions. That is no issue.
Ma'am, I think everyone is done with their doubt.
Okay. So, thank you, Sangeeta.
Good evening, ma'am.
Okay. Yes. You may please ask. Who's this?
Okay, ma'am, we will end this meeting. Thank you so much,
Good
ma'am.
evening, ma'am.
Okay. If there is any doubt, you may please ask. I don't know who is this.
I think he is just wishing good evening to you.
Okay, good evening. So, yeah, thank you, Sangeeta, for...
Ma'am.
Wait a minute.
There is someone. I think he has a doubt. Please tell who was your inspiration. See, I don't know. I don't have any inspiration as such, but as a student who has just passed PG and your only aim is to get into a job, no matter what job, there is only one thing in your mind, that you need a job at that time. So it is important to understand what field you are interested in and what your strength is. So while doing my PG and UG, I understood that my writing style is nice. I mean, okay. So I can clear GSI if I want to, because it mainly aims at the big portion of marks in the mains it carries, and if you are able to write a good descriptive answers, you are at a good space there. So I knew that, but I lagged my interest and also talent in solving numerical problems and all. So I was clear that I didn't want to give GATE or even attend for the BARC exam. So the only option I had was geology, and geologist in GSI only. So that was my aim. So inspiration, there was no one as such, such a person who was my inspiration. But yeah, I have seen my seniors and I have seen my teachers who got into GSI also, and who even told me, and being a student of Sagar University, they offer you a very good field work. So even in the first year itself, we have a tent-based setup where you spend like 31 days in tent, and you'll be doing field work and mapping. So kind of my interest came from there, and my teachers, my parents, and everyone else inspired me to get into this job. And this preparation, I started my preparation only in the third year, because the first 2 years, I did a 3-year MTech course, MTech in Applied Geology. So the first 2 years, I did not have any idea about what GSI was or what I have to do, and I did not prepare much. But then towards the end, when I knew that, preparation for the pre has to be started, I started it in my third year. That is my 5th sem, I guess, in the 5th sem, where I started my preparation for pre's. And then due to Corona, I got ample amount of time for my mains, and then also enough time for my interview. So Corona kind of helped me to get. So as a fresher, I would say that it is important for you to, since most of you will be doing a 2-year course, it is important to start your preparation little by little from the start itself, from the first semester itself. Just go according to the syllabus of your university. That is the best. That if structural geology is suppose completed in the first semester, take a syllabus of structural geology of UPSC and study structural geology then and there itself. So you will not have a burden, because I faced this burden because I started at the late stage. So it is important that you start very early, and to understand your strength and weakness. And this, what type of student you were in class? What do you think? I am a studious kind of a person only, but not that first front bencher type. I was a studious. I was also topper, but I did all the fun activities. So I always suggest to everyone that do enjoy your college life. Also, do all the fun you can do, and because this comes only once. Because once you enter into job life, which I am at present, so I can understand that there is no scope of very much enjoyment if you do not get posting with your colleagues and so. So it is important to enjoy your college days and study also, and enjoy also. And I was kind of studious, but not that typical topper types. But yeah, I was a topper. Thank you for the question.
I think everyone is done with their doubt. Ma'am, this session was really helpful. Whatever you have told us, it was really amazing. With your cheerful nature, everything was very much clear. Every doubt was very much clear to each one of us.
So thank you, Sangeeta, for giving me this opportunity, and I hope I was of little help to each one of you. And the interview is very close, I guess. It starts from 20 or 21, I think.
Yes, ma'am.
So don't be afraid and be yourself. And I would like to tell to everyone that you cannot act, or you cannot portray yourself as a different person in front of the panel.
So be yourself and be happy, be cheerful, and it will be your one in a lifetime experience for sure. That I guarantee. Even if you get selected, even if you don't get selected, so there is nothing to worry about. There are many chances waiting for you out there, and I hope I was of help. And since my interview was 2 to 3 years back, I mean 2021 I gave my interview, so I don't have the recent scenarios. So again, I would like to say to everyone that don't just swallow whatever you heard from me or any other person. Your experiences will be different and it will be one of a kind. So everyone has a scope to qualify the exam, and I would like to see many of you coming to GSI as well, and many of you from this slot especially to come in the rank list. So I would like to wish everyone all the best.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.